This is an amazing find. This appears to be one of the gun pits of 12th Platoon East. And the fact that, it's obviously sunk in by quite a lot, but it's located about 50 yards from the top of the hill. This is the correct location for it. There's 12th Platoon was split in two. The other part was on the other side of this ridge. This area was protected from 11th Platoon, which was up in this area here. And as you can see, there's almost no chance for the Chinese to get up in this area. But this is a real piece of Canadian history. From here, they can have their Bren guns, and they had about 2 sections of men operating out of this area. But what's really happening, this area was safe. But on the other side of this ridge, things are going really bad. And there's some incredible fighting going on at 10 Platoon. Fortunately, number 10 Platoon is commanded by an experienced Second World War veteran, Lieutenant Mike Levy. Throughout the early morning of the 25th, Levy's men repulsed wave after wave of determined enemy attacks. We've only walked over about, 30 yards from the other position, and this is on the west side of the hill. 3 o'clock in the morning, they broke through here, and they put total attacks on Mike Levy's number 10 Platoon. Now, this is all taking place, like I said, 3 o'clock in the morning. The Chinese are all over the place. Levy's defense of this position is quite exceptional, and in the end, he calls on a 40-minute bombardment on his own positions.
The artillery support is awesome. Without it, we could not sustain ourselves. The continuing attacks involve hundreds or even thousands of brave Chinese soldiers, seemingly exhibiting no fear of dying.
The stand of both 10 Platoon and 12 Platoon saved the day. They stopped the Chinese here cold. Even by the early morning, the Chinese were already starting to pull back. Maybe it was foolish that the Chinese even tried to take these positions, and in the end, they couldn't. They were outfought by the Canadians and their artillery. By the morning of April 25th, after 8 hours of heavy fighting, the Chinese stopped their attacks on the Canadians. The stubborn defense by the Patricias inflicts terrible casualties on the Chinese and prevents the communist breakthrough. Although the Patricias fight off an attacking force of 7,000 Chinese, they suffer remarkably few casualties, with only 10 killed and 23 wounded, a testament to the skill with which the position had been organized and defended. The stand by the Patricias at Kap'yong was exceptional, but it took a Korean to truly respect their achievement by raising a monument to their memory. It is no accident that this man who so honors the Canadians is himself a survivor of the Korean War, Kap'yong. This is an amazingly sincere gesture by the Korean people to remember the Canadians, and it's very touching as a Canadian to come back and to see this. It's deeply touching.
Well, not only the Canadians, even Koreans, we got to remember. I mentioned the battle map. That's the 250th CLI sector, 677, right there.
When I come to a place like this and I see where I was on this stone, and I can look up at the hill there and see the actual spot, it's powerful. It's very moving, and you start to remember some things that you kind of like to have forgotten. But it is really, really great to see this. It's wonderful. It's a great tribute to the Canadian people from you. Thank you.
Before we leave, I want to present to the Korean War veterans to this stone, this present to your all the battlefield stone.
Thank you so much.
Killed at Kap'yong, Maurice Carr, Gerald Evans, Leslie Fielding, Leo Gladieux, Curtis Hayes, Joseph Lassard, Earl McCaskill, Bruce McDonald, Walter Marshall, Robert Tolver, Robert Walker, Thomas Wotton.
I look at the place where we were and remember what happened there. Remember the people that died there. And sometimes it's tough to talk about it. You keep saying to yourself, why me? How come I'm still here? And there isn't an answer. You can't answer it. You don't know why.
The battle fought by the Patricias in these hills was a magnificent defensive action, and in the history of the Canadian Army is probably one of the best small unit actions ever fought. And over the next few months, the Patricias will be joined by thousands of other Canadian soldiers as they start to drive north over more hills, through more valleys, and into North Korea.